Lucius's life had slowly begun to resemble the ancient stone walls of Rome themselves, solid, enduring, and quietly heavy. For many years he had walked into the arena with measured steps, feeling the warm sand beneath his feet, sensing how that ground absorbed not only sweat and effort, but also unspoken thoughts, unfinished emotions and questions he no longer dared to ask. Each time he stepped forward, the sounds of the city faded behind him, replaced by the familiar echo of stone, breath, and waiting silence. With every season that passed, the discipline of the arena traveled inward, settling first into his muscles, then into his breathing, and finally into his thoughts. Each year strengthened his body while slowly exhausting his spirit, and the roar of the crowd, once sharp and overwhelming, had softened over time into a distant hum, a background noise that followed him even into sleep. At night, the circular shape of the arena appeared again and again behind his closed eyes, because the human brain does not forget repeated danger. It only learns how to quiet it. Lucius's mind had learned silence not as peace, but as survival. When he tried to remember who he had been before Rome claimed him, memories surfaced slowly, like images rising through water. He remembered his mother's calm voice in the evenings, the gentle rhythm of her words, the smell of earth after rain, and the way sunlight once rested softly on the walls of a small home far from the city. These memories carried warmth, but over time they had grown thinner and more distant, fading like old frescoes exposed to wind and dust. In their place came routines, expectations, commands, and obedience. Life in the arena was never only physical. It was a constant neurological state of readiness. The heart learned to race at the smallest signal. The breath shortened without permission. The body reacted before the mind could think. And slowly, quietly, the soul forgot what safety felt like. Lucius had not noticed when this change happened, because the human mind has a way of mistaking long-carried tension for normal life. After every victory, the crowd shouted his name. Thousands of voices rose together, demanding more, always more. Yet the cheers passed through him without warmth, leaving behind a hollow stillness. Applause fades quickly, but silence stays. And as his victories increased, so did a deeper weariness, one no sleep seemed to reach. It was not a weight on his shoulders or arms, but something deeper, resting inside his chest, quietly pressing against his conscience. Sometimes, in rare moments of stillness, he wondered how many parts of himself he had left behind on the sand. On the morning of what would become his final fight, Lucius woke before dawn. The city was still quiet, and for a moment the world felt paused. The heaviness he felt was different from anything before. It was not the familiar ache of tired muscles or old injuries. It was the gentle signal of a nervous system that had been alert for too long and was finally asking to slow down. He lay still, listening to his breathing, feeling the steady rhythm of his heart. For the first time in many years, he did not rush to silence his thoughts. Instead, he allowed a question to form naturally within him, simple, honest, and unafraid. What does true strength really mean? As the day unfolded, the arena began to fill. Sunlight climbed slowly over the stone walls, warming the air and energizing the crowd. Voices rose, footsteps echoed, and anticipation thickened the space. Yet something inside Lucius remained calm. The heat that stirred excitement in others softened his thoughts instead. Tired bodies, he realized, sometimes allow the mind to become more truthful. When his opponent stepped into view, Lucius did not see an enemy. He saw fear mixed with hope. He saw uncertainty. He saw himself years ago. And when the fight began, his movements were steady and unhurried. Each step was grounded, each breath intentional. Time seemed to stretch, not rushing forward but opening gently. Because when the brain senses choice instead of threat, perception changes. For the first time, the arena felt less like a place of survival and more like a moment of decision. When the fight ended and his opponent lay defeated on the sand, the crowd rose as one voice, demanding the final blow. The sound was loud, urgent, and familiar, yet it didn't take hold inside Lucius. Instead, a deep stillness formed, steady, grounding, and calm. His heartbeat softened, his breathing widened. He lifted his sword, feeling its weight, feeling the expectation of thousands resting on that single moment. And then, guided not by instinct or fear, but by conscience, he paused. He did not strike. That pause changed everything. The arena fell into silence. Not an empty silence, but a full one, thick with confusion, reflection, and something unfamiliar. The human mind stops when faced with unexpected mercy. It needs time to understand what it has just witnessed. In that silence, Lucius understood something he had never allowed himself to see before. Strength was not found in force alone. It lived in restraint, in choice, in the ability to govern fear, anger, and expectation. When the emperor rose from his seat, time seemed to begin again. His voice carried across the arena, calm and final. Freedom was granted. The applause that followed was different, slower, deeper, more thoughtful. It was as if the people were not only honoring a gladiator but sensing something soften within themselves as well. Lucius knew then that his freedom was not only physical. An internal chain had broken. A nervous system long trapped in vigilance had finally begun to rest. As Lucius walked away from the arena, the stone corridors felt longer than before, not because the distance had changed, but because his awareness had. Each step echoed softly, and with every echo, his body released a little more tension. His shoulders lowered without effort. His hands, once clenched even at rest, now rested loosely at his sides. He noticed these small changes with quiet curiosity, understanding that the body remembers danger long after the danger has passed, and that true rest arrives slowly, layer by layer. Outside, Rome continued as it always had. The city breathed in familiar rhythms. Distant voices blended into the evening air. Footsteps softened on stone streets, and the warmth of the day slowly faded into a cooler calm. Lucius paused for a moment and simply stood there, allowing his senses to settle. He felt the ground beneath his feet solid and steady. He listened without searching for threat. For the first time in many years, the world did not feel like something he needed to defend himself against. As night deepened, lanterns flickered to life across the city. Their gentle light reflected off stone walls, creating slow-moving shadows that felt soothing rather than unsettling. Lucius walked without urgency. There was no command guiding him now, no signal demanding readiness. His breathing became deeper, fuller, moving naturally through his chest and abdomen. With every exhale, his nervous system softened, learning a new pattern, one not shaped by survival but by safety. Later, when he finally lay down to rest, the silence did not press against him. It held him. His body sank gently into stillness. Muscles that had carried tension for years began to release it without instruction. His heartbeat slowed, no longer scanning for danger, no longer preparing for impact. Thoughts drifted through his mind like passing clouds, unhurried and light. He did not chase them. He did not resist them. He simply observed as they came and went. In this quiet state, Lucius understood something deeply human. Mercy had not only freed another man, it had freed himself. By choosing not to strike, he had interrupted a pattern his body and mind had followed for years. He had shown his nervous system that another ending was possible, and this understanding settled into him not as excitement, but as peace. If you are listening now, allow this calm to reach you as well. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to fix. Simply notice your breathing. Notice how the surface beneath you supports your body. Allow your shoulders to soften. Allow your jaw to release. Let the day loosen its hold on you. Like Lucius, you do not need to prove your strength. You do not need to remain alert. Rest is not weakness. Pausing is not failure. Sometimes the bravest act is choosing gentleness toward others and toward yourself. As this Roman night continues, imagine the city growing quieter. Imagine the stones cooling under the open sky. Imagine the slow, steady rhythm of a world at rest. Let your thoughts slow. Let your body grow heavy in a comfortable way. And if this story has brought you peace, you can help carry that peace forward by liking the video and subscribing, allowing more calm stories to reach those who need rest. Now, there is nothing left to follow, nothing left to listen for, just the gentle rhythm of your breath and the quiet safety of this moment, carrying you naturally, comfortably, and peacefully into sleep.